Fighter jets have advanced technology and are some of the most sophisticated machines ever built. Speed is one of the key features that every fighter jet must possess to remain relevant on the battlefield. The US and Russia have set the pace for the development of sophisticated fighters, many of which remain futuristic, despite being built decades ago. However, speed alone is no longer the defining factor on the battlefield, and stealth has replaced it to some extent. For example, the F-22 Raptor, the slowest fighter jet on the list, is one of the most potent air superiority fighter jets today. The US SR-71 Blackbird spy plane, while undoubtedly the fastest aircraft in the world, was not a fighter jet. In this video, the fastest fighter jets in the world are discussed. Hello everyone, welcome to the TechNow channel. The F-22 Raptor is a fifth-generation air supremacy fighter and the most advanced fighter jet of its kind in the world today. It was developed exclusively for the US Air Force, and the US has maintained an export ban on this aircraft. While the Air Force was planning to procure thousands of these fighter jets, the program was canceled due to cost and lack of perceived enemies that would require a fifth-generation air supremacy fighter jet. Only 187 operational F-22 Raptors were built. The Convair F-106 Delta Dart was developed for the US Air Force and was a primary all-weather interceptor aircraft. They were introduced in the 1960s and used through the 1980s during the Cold War, but have since been retired. The F-14 Tomcat was developed for the United States Navy, featured in the movie Top Gun, and was developed in the 1970s. The US Navy replaced the F-14 with the F-18s, but interestingly, they remain in service today in the Iranian Air Force. The Eurofighter Typhoon is a multi-role fighter that is highly agile and effective in dogfighting. The Sukhoi Su-27 Flanker is a Soviet-built super-maneuverable fighter jet designed to counter the US fourth-generation fighters. The majority of the 680 built remain in service in the Russian Air Force and other air forces worldwide. Finally, the F-15 Eagle is the US Air Force's other air supremacy fighter jet, and despite being an older fighter jet than the F-22, is much cheaper and remains in production today. The Mikoyan MiG-25 Foxbat and MiG-31 Foxhound were among the very fastest military aircraft to ever enter service. The MiG-31 is expected to remain in service in the Russian Air Force until 2030. China, which is an Asian military superpower, has been arguing with the US in various problems. The most recent about Beijing balloons that were shot fell down a Washington fighter jet because it was considered a spy. Pentagon's annual reports even highlighted Beijing's military rise several times and considered it as one of the most challenging threats.